Welcome to the True Grime Stories podcast, where in every episode, we'll unravel a new mystery of cleaning business transformation from a grimy mess to a great success. Join me, your host, Jeannie Henderson, as together we dig up cleaning business secrets that you've been dying to know. Hey there, my cleaning business friends. I'm so glad you're here for this episode of True Grime Stories. I'm your host, Jeannie Henderson, and I'm here today with my friend, Mario Alvarez. He is the co-owner of It's Cleaning Time in Round Rock, Texas. That's outside of Austin or in the Austin area. And Mario and his amazing wife, Eloisa, started their business way back in 2003, or it might be 2002, depends on which one of them you ask. But it's been a long time. They're veterans in the cleaning business, and I'm sure we have a lot to learn from them. So I'm sure you're going to be glad to be here today. And they've been entrepreneurial partners for a very long time. And so many of us are married to our business partner. So I'm sure we can learn a lot about that. And they've been through a lot together. And I'm sure that Mario's got a great grime story to share with us today. They hit a turning point in their business when Mario's love for numbers kind of met strategy when he joined our coaching program, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. And I had the personal joy of coaching with Mario over the years. And I can't wait for you to get to meet him and learn about this great values-driven business that they have built. So thank you, Mario, for being here today. I'm glad we finally made this happen.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great. And it's always a joy to see Mario. I was saying one of the great things about doing this podcast is I just get to spend time with people that I love seeing that I don't get to see very often. So this is great. So Mario, how did you and Eloisa decide to start a cleaning business? You know, what kind of drove you to that?
We had some business in Mexico. We grew up in Mexico. We were born in the United States, but our parents, took us to Mexico. So we grew up in Mexico. We met in Mexico City.
Okay.
We got married. And then we went to my hometown, which is Veracruz, and we started coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
And that coffee shop, it started with a bakery, but then it became a coffee shop and then a cafe. And it shows a lot of the problems of a business, but we managed to be successful when we saw that our kids were growing and we want them to come and enjoy all the marvelous things that the United States can offer them. So we came here with our kids, and then we were looking for things to do. So I had a couple of jobs, and we decided, okay, let's start a bakery because that's something that we know. And we, did our research, and it's pretty expensive, and it has a lot of rules. So
yes, I have a restaurant background too, so I can really appreciate all the rules. Yeah.
Yeah. And so in Mexico, we started the bakery because in Mexico, when you are short of money, the first thing that you do is, you bake pies and you sell pies. But the rules are not that strict. Here they were, or they are. And so we decided, what the people in the United States do when they have needs and they want to work in something that provides them with some income. And we asked, and it's cleaning. So we decided to start cleaning. Eloisa started cleaning. I was working by then in another place. And when my contract ended a year after, I joined her. And since then, we've been in this business. That's how we started the business.
That is really true what you said. Like in the US, one of the many jobs that people will go to when they need to earn a little extra cash is the cleaning industry. It's something easy to start. You can do it yourself. You can do it without a lot of training, which many people do. So it is kind of that thing that many of us fall into just as we're just kind of looking for a way to earn some extra money. And it doesn't have a lot of rules.
And it pays you immediately. You clean, you get paid.
Yes. Yeah. It can be a cash business. So a lot of people do get into the cleaning industry. That's, yeah, I hadn't really thought about it that way, but it's pies in Mexico and it's cleaning in the United States.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. So that was 2002, 2003, and you started. And uh, did you also clean in the field at one point?
Yes, after I finished my contract with the other company, I started cleaning with Eloisa. And while we were cleaning, uh, two things happened. First, we talk and say, what is going to happen if we get sick? What is going to happen if we want to take a vacation? Well, you
That's
don't
a
make
really good
money and
question.
you spend money.
Hmm.
So we need to hire some people to help us. And that's when we start hiring people. But also we talk and because Eloisa, every time she went to clean, she came back and she has rashes and say, what is happening? Well, the chemicals that we were using were too strong.
Mm,
So we decided to
yeah.
become a green company like in 2004 or five, way before it was regular for
You
everybody to
were
be
green
clean.
before green was a thing.
Exactly. So we started doing that. And so that working together, that's how it happened. Uh, After 8 years, Eloisa moved into the office because we had enough customers, so she needed to be there. 2 years more, I moved into the office because we needed to charge the customers and to fix the vacuum cleaners.
Oh, you were the vacuum cleaner repairman.
I had almost a repair shop full of parts and a lot of expertise in the vacuum cleaners.
I'm sure our audience can relate. I think many of us have the, vacuum cleaner graveyard in our office where we're cannibalizing them for parts, and
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. I love that.
and basically we stopped repairing the vacuum cleaners after I had my introduction with you, and you say, well, they have to have their vacuum cleaner. I say, okay, that's an idea. So
Mhm.
from then on, they have to have their vacuum cleaner. If they don't have money, we help them to finance it, but it's there and it's their responsibility. When I was fixing vacuum cleaners, we have three teams of two, and I was fixing two vacuum cleaners per week.
Oh, wow. That's a lot for that size team. And
Exactly,
so now your cleaners are responsible for their own vacuums.
exactly.
That's a great, transition for a lot of people when they realize, oh, people don't take care of things that don't belong to them.
Yes,
They're not going to take good care of it. So when we switch that ownership to our team member, we can help them finance it in the beginning. It changes how they treat it.
completely, completely. After a couple of years, I asked one of our workers, "Hey, how often does your vacuum cleaner, gets to uh, have to go to repair?" I said, "Once or twice a year." I said, "A year, twice a year against every 2 weeks."
Amazing, isn't it?
I don't know.
They became smart about how to take care of their vacuums when they didn't have
Exactly,
us to rely on. Being a vacuum cleaner repairman is kind of a crutch for our team, and it allows some bad behavior that you just don't realize that we can do without. So I love that. That's a great little tip right there for anybody who's listening. Just that, because people in the cleaning industry love to talk about vacuums.
not anymore in our group.
Not Mario's like, not
Yeah.
anymore. No. Um, well, that's the way that you get started, that progression is so great. But I love how one day you just like, but what if we want to go on vacation? We're cleaning everyone's house, they're going on vacation, but what if we want to go on vacation, or what if we get sick? We have to think about that. And that is a big turning point for a lot of people when you realize that there are so many people who, don't ever take a vacation when
They
they're running
can't.
their cleaning business.
They can't.
Right. They can't, for sure. So, well, this is True Grime Stories, and we want to get, deep into some of the grimy mess that cleaning business owners experience over the life of their business. So I want you to think back at a time when you really were stuck in the grime and share that grime scene with our audience. So when I mention that, what is a time in your business life that you were really stuck and you had to find your way out of it?
Well, it was like 2018.
Hmm.
We had about 10 teams. No, about 10 people. About 10 people.
Okay. Yeah.
And then one November, six of them quit.
Ooh, ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah. So what kind of led up to that?
Well, we needed to start hiring. And
Hmm.
of course, at the beginning, we started hiring warm bodies, so anybody could work with us. Then we became more, selected. And but we didn't have that knowledge on why and how to do it. But that was like awakening moment for us. So much that year, I think we sold like $20,000 less than the previous year.
Yeah, because you had to play catch up. Right.
Exactly in the last months.
Oh, right in November when, that's our busiest season of the year for many of us. And this is the thing that can really catch us off guard if we don't see it coming. Do you,
Yes,
were all of those people quitting, was it related?
they were related. They were
Okay.
sisters.
Ah, yeah. And that can also start to cause, drama and different, us versus them kind of thing going on in our business and stuff like that.
And so
Uh,
since then, we try not to hire, families.
and sometimes
But
it seems like
it
an easy solution, oh, well, I
is
hire this husband and wife and they'll clean together. And then, but then when you lose one, you lose the other one too at the same
exactly.
time. They go in pairs or threes and fours. Yeah, that is terrible. I'm sorry to hear that you went through that. So you're six people down on a 10-person team. That's 60% of your workforce in the holidays. What were the things that you learned from that experience? What were some of the things that you've learned that now you aren't, besides the fact of not hiring people
Yeah.
who are in families? That's a good one right there. But what are some other things that you've learned about what happened that led up to that process and then how to avoid it again in the future?
We we didn't know. I mean, we were cleaning since 2002 or three, just following our instincts. I really don't recommend that. It's very expensive, very, very expensive,
Yeah.
and very tiring and very stressful. You don't know what to
Mhm.
do. I mean, okay, we don't have clients, add some more marketing. But the fact that we lost that many people told us, okay, we have to learn how to hire constantly and have some uh, like extra people in case we need, but at the same time try to keep our people for longer time, which that's
Mhm.
what happens later.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is one of the things that catches us off guard often is we feel like we have a great team and we get comfortable in that position, I've got 10 people, everything's going well, but it can change like that. But if you have a plan in place to hire well, to, create longevity on your team, those kinds of events happen less frequently. People are always going to quit, but there are ways to kind of be prepared for it, be ahead of that. So, what are some of the things that you implemented that changed your price or your process around hiring and maintaining the people on your team?
Well, uh, it happened after we joined CBF, of course.
Okay, so yeah, I remember when you
Yeah.
joined Cleaning Business Fundamentals.
Yes. So when we joined CBF and we started learning all the process from David Sardone, we immediately learn how to hire and to keep hiring. And you say, okay, what are you going to do with so many people? It's not so many people. Precisely one of the things that I love from all the training from David was the percentages.
Mm-hmm.
You hire a lot of people, yes, okay. You have 120 applications, and then finally you interview eight, and you hire three, and after a month or 2 months, you just have one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why
It's
you have to.
really that whole understanding
Listen,
that numbers game.
exactly. That's why we kept hiring and hiring and hiring. Right now, our own problem is that we don't have enough trainers. So we're hiring and we need to ask them to wait because our three trainers are already training somebody and they have to wait. But
Mm-hmm.
it hasn't been a big problem. We have right now like a well-oiled machine on how to hire. Our supervisor it's very 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 good at uh, getting what are the nuances on people behaviors and the things that they don't say. We have a bunch of questions directed to make them talk so that we can feel how they really are.
Mm-hmm.
In our interview, we ask them, okay, where did you work, and that's it. And then we start asking questions. What is it that you like the best about yourself, and what about other people like of you? And do you like to, go outdoors? And what do you do for fun? Things like that that allow us to understand how they are. And this supervisor, which has been with us for 6 years, I think next week,
Wow.
eh, and her gut feeling is just point. She said, "Okay,
That's so great to have someone like that on your team. But I love it that your questions aren't about how good they are at cleaning, or they're, not about necessarily their work experience. It's about who they are as an individual, as a person, because that's what you're hiring. You can teach people
exactly."
how to clean.
That's
You
the
don't
only
need them
problem.
to be cleaners,
The,
right?
the cleaning is not a problem. The person is the problem, and
Mhm.
everybody's gonna tell you that they love cleaning, and that's why they're looking for a job in cleaning. Yeah, they love cleaning their house, but they don't clean 10 houses a week.
Right.
And when they clean 10 houses a week, it's a different animal. And we usually have like 60% of the people that we are out in the first week because that was not what they were expecting.
Right. So the training week is really like a continuation of the interview. It's like, can they make it through
Yes,
through that? And it we want them to really see what the whole experience is going to be like if they're going to stay with us long term. So I love that you're really hiring the person, not the experience. And I think we many times as business owners mix that up, you know.
yes,
I think longevity is really good. You want to look at someone's resume and see that they've stayed at a job longer than 3 months, but not necessarily. I mean, they could have had any job almost before they come clean for us, and it wouldn't matter because we can teach them. We have the system to teach them how to clean. They just
exactly.
got to be great people. Well, I love that. Well, I want to take a little bit of a break here. This is a
Okay,
great discussion, and I know this is an area that so many people struggle with. So I want to come back and talk more about it. But you mentioned cleaning business fundamentals, so I want to share with everyone a little bit about CBF, and then we will be right back.
thank you.
Is your cleaning business a grime story? There's no need to stay stuck in the muck because you're not alone. With over 500 active members and more than 500 graduates of our Cleaning Business Fundamentals program, CBF is the #1 cleaning business academy in the world and has created more mop-free millionaires than any program in the industry. Learn more and let CBF take your residential cleaning business from a grime story to a gleaming success. Welcome back, everybody. So glad that you stayed with us. I am excited to continue my conversation with Mario, talking about how his business changed and his hiring process changed. So, Mario, you were talking about changing the way that you handled your hiring process and your interviewing process. So, now that you're focused more on hiring the person and not, just hiring a warm body to clean or someone who's
Exactly.
got cleaning experience. How has that changed, the makeup of your team and your ability to grow and, avoid situations like the time that you had 6 people quit all at the same time?
We we value a lot our the culture of our business. We are friendly. We really care for each other. We care for our technicians and our office workers, and so we need people that match that. And we tell them in the interview, and say, okay, we're gonna, get you into the process of training, but if you don't match our culture, we're gonna let you go. And it's not because you're a bad person or you're a bad cleaner. It's because we don't match. As any relationship, if you don't match, you don't want to keep doing it. And we really think that you are losing good opportunities that you would like if you keep working for us.
That is so great. It's not the worst thing in the world for people to not stay with us because we're actually probably releasing them back into the marketplace to find something that's a better fit where they're going to be happier.
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
might even be glad, that it didn't work out because it just
Not
wasn't the right fit.
sometimes it's not at the moment, but usually about a couple of weeks, they notice that they're happier in their new job than with us.
Hmm. Yeah. And that's a great reality for business owners to realize because firing people is one of the hardest things we have to do.
It's really difficult.
Yeah. But you can fire people with compassion and help them realize that there's something better out there for them, something that's a better fit,
Yes.
right? Yeah. So what does your team look like today after, going from that when you went from 10 down to 4? What's it been like since then, since you've
Well,
implemented this new hiring process?
yeah, right now we have 17, 18 plus 2 in training. And
Wow.
there are two more waiting for training.
So you have that. I love it too. You also have kind of that on deck,
Yes.
people waiting to come onto your team. And a lot of times people will be running their business with just one trainer, but you mentioned, having multiple trainers.
Yes. We have three.
That probably helps them not get burned out.
Yes. And also that we can train people simultaneously.
Mhm.
So if we have, let's see, three good candidates, I mean, we can start the next day basically, which
Well, and
is,
that's so key. If you can't get people started right away, if you make them wait too long, if they're not currently employed, you might lose that applicant. So it
yes,
is great to have that like open spot where you can drop in a trainee.
yes, exactly. It's been great for us, and we have a very well oiled machine now. I mean, we have the people who does the marketing in Indeed, and then they go through a process of getting rid of the people who doesn't, you know, get all the qualifications that we need. The ones that they really don't want to work with, contact them, say, no, 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 that's not what I want. And then we get to the very few that are really interested and could be possible candidates to get hired, and then that's when they have their in-person interview.
Yeah, and it is kind of developing almost that kind of an ideal profile of the employee that you're looking for, and there have to be a certain set of must-haves, like
Yes,
you can call them qualifications, but they must enjoy this. They must have this type of availability to make it through that filtering process to even get an interview.
exactly. And there's something that I want to mention because
Mhm.
it was a eye opener for me. I was doing the in-person interviews, and we were getting not really good people. And then I noticed it. It's because I'm too kind. And any people that comes and say, "Oh, I really need to work," and they look like a nice person, I say, "Okay, this is a good." And so that's why the supervisor does the in person interviews, because she's more strict, and I'm not that good for that.
You're a softie.
I'm a softie, exactly.
Well, I think that that is a case for a lot of people. You want to help people. And I mean, that's why you're in the cleaning business. You like to help people. And from the very beginning, you were trying to find a business that helps people. And
Exactly.
yeah, it, but we aren't necessarily the best people at the job. I have found that to be similar in my case too, that I tend to let people into our business who probably aren't the best fit, and they bring too much baggage or too much drama with them because I'm just trying to help them out and give them a job. And
same
yeah, my
same
team
here.
yeah, my team hires far better than I do. Although I have some great hires that are still with me many years later, but yeah, it's for sure. So you as an owner might not be the best person to do hiring,
Exactly. And you have to
right?
be real about that. You have to check yourself and say, why is this happening? I'm not that good in that because I'm a softie, or I'm too strict, or whatever. But you may not be the one to do the final interview and hiring.
That is a that's a huge eye opener, I think, for a lot of people.
Yes.
Uh, this When you're hiring, you are filling the most important position in your business, more important than the position that a client has. The team member
Yes.
brings more revenue into your business than any other person in the business. And you want to make sure that you're making good choices. And sometimes it's just not us. We're not the ones who are supposed to do that. Even though as business owners we do all the things, that doesn't mean that we're the best at all the things. So it's
It's
great that you've been able to delegate that to someone who's better.
yes. It's. I mean, a lot of our changes come from getting into CBF, because we
Mhm.
start getting into the culture of CBF and learning something that Debbie Sardone never tells you is that, yeah, she's gonna help you, organize your business and all this stuff, but you are gonna become an entrepreneur. And she never says that. And we become entrepreneurs and we start talking numbers and all that stuff. So it's something that it's so great, and they don't tell you about that. So we learned that we might not be the best for the positions that we want to keep, so we have to find a better who.
Right. Yes. And that is being an entrepreneur, is realizing that I'm not the one who's supposed to do it all. Being an entrepreneur is not doing it all yourself.
Exactly.
It is being able to organize a group of people who want to do the things you need them to do and do them well. And that's so great, to realize one day that you are running your business and leading your business. It's not running your life; it's you running it. That's
Yes.
entrepreneurialism. Yeah, that's so good. Well, and so now that you're on the other side of that, how has your life changed? How has this impacted your life and the growth of your business?
Yesterday, Eloisa, or day before yesterday, Eloisa said something that it was really, really interesting. And she said, when we started, we live, our customers live better than us. And now we live better than most of our customers.
Oh my goodness. Wow, that gave me the
Yes,
goosebumps. That is
yes,
profound.
I know.
That
And
is, yeah.
and if you don't, look back and see, that's what is really happening when you are in CBF and you get growing and growing. Suddenly, yeah, and you have more time free than your customers. And I mean, you are just directing your business. You are not, part of the everyday thing. even though you know about them. I mean, they keep, sending you information, but you don't have to make the decisions. Not anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's so freeing. You can be so much more creative when you're not dealing with all the little decisions. There are thousands of little decisions that have to be made in our businesses every day, like where to put this client on the schedule and where to put this person when somebody calls out and all that kind of stuff. When you're not dealing with all that last minute putting out fires stuff, then you can really spend time thinking about the big things, planning your future. Um,
Yeah, we,
yeah.
we, we have a very good team, and they take care of that. And I was talking to one of our technicians, like, an hour ago, and I was telling her, we have problems every day. We have, clients that want to, move their cleaning, and we have workers that, I mean, they had an important thing. A kid really bad. They have to go to the hospital. The car broke. But for me and for my team, those are the things that makes the business. I mean, we have to solve problems. Every business has a problem or several problems, and we
Mm-hmm.
have those problems, and we have to solve them. It's not that the work is gonna end. We're gonna solve the problems. We're gonna, move the schedule and all the stuff. Is part of being in this business.
Yeah, that doesn't go away.
No,
You
at all.
get better at it and you get less rattled by it as you become more experienced and you have more systems in place. But yeah, that's a great lesson to share with your team members too, because sometimes they can get frustrated. Like, why does my schedule change all the time? It's like, because we're solving problems.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. We solve problems for our customers and we solve problems for our team members every single day. And yeah, that's really great. Well, before we leave, do you have one piece of advice or, you know, a verse or a saying that keeps you going that you want to share with our audience?
Well, I really want to say this because it's important for me. I mean, if you're not in CBF, get in CBF today and stay in CBF. If you're part of CBF, keep learning and growing your business because that growth depends on your growing.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Well, and the thing I love about you, Mario, too, is when I met you, you had a big business already. You
Yes.
know, a lot of people think that um, if I'm going to go to a coaching program, that's just going to help me start a business. But we see a lot of people in our coaching program who have big businesses that might be considered successful if you look at them from the outside. But, you know, when you pull back the curtain, there's all whole kind of
It's a
mess going on in
mess.
the background.
Exactly.
Right? And I meet people with $1 million businesses who aren't making money, who can't take a vacation, you know, and so you had a big business when you came and you had to make a lot of changes in your business. And here you are, still smiling and
Yes.
still inspiring people. So it doesn't have to be that you are just getting started out in the cleaning industry to benefit from having a mentor. Everybody needs one.
I'm convinced of that. In fact, I already mentoring somebody else in
Uh-huh.
other industry
Mm-hmm.
because I think that we need mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, our business is stable. We can see the future and we can plan for the future. We didn't have that before CPF. It was just okay, reacting every day. Not anymore.
That is so great. Well, and I know you have always been so helpful to others in the industry. So that's cool to hear that you're
Thank you.
mentoring others because that's, you know, passing it on, passing it forward to someone else. So that's so great. Well, I'm so glad that today we had the time to hear part of your story. And please give my best to your beautiful wife.
Thank you.
She's so dear. And you guys have built something really great, so much to be proud of. And I know that there's just so much great success there. And I love what you shared because uh, hiring the right people is such an important part of being able to grow in this industry or any other, really.
Yes.
Can't have a business without people.
Thank,
So this is so great.
thank you for having me. I really enjoy this conversation as always. I always enjoy, having these conversations with you.
Yeah, no, it's so good to see you, and looking forward to the next time.
Okay.
So thank you, Mario, and I want to thank everyone in our audience for being a part of this episode today too. And I hope that you have found something helpful here. And be sure and check out our other episodes. We're building a great library of problem solving for the cleaning industry. And I'm sure you'll find a solution to other problems that you might be dealing with there. And be sure and share this episode with your friends, subscribe and download, and give us your review. That really helps other people find us. And if you want to know more about cleaning business fundamentals, there's a link in our show notes where you can set up a free call with me. I'd love to learn about your business and help you grow here in Cleaning Business Fundamentals. So thank you, everyone, for being here for True Grime Stories, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye, everyone. That's a wrap on today's True Grime Stories. Thanks for joining us in uncovering the secrets of cleaning business success. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and download, and check out our show notes for links and info from today's episode, and to learn more about our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Join us next time as we solve another True Grime story.